Well then, unfortunately for us Teddy owners, he is out. Pat Garrigan owners, he's also out as well. So very frustrating news to wake up to here on Friday, and hopefully there aren't any more restings to come. It sounds like all the Titans guys will be backing up, which is cool. There's still some question marks around the Panthers players, apparently. Ivan came out. Obviously, Nathan Cleary's potentially coming back, and he said, he's tracking well. But still is a chance to miss this, obviously being named in the 24 jersey, and he hadn't decided yet what he was going to do with all of the other Origin guys. So, the Brian To'os obviously are going to be fairly important, and Isaiah Yeo are going to be probably the two guys that people are looking at. Also, Liam Martin as a cheaper edge option as well. So that's the sad news there. Obviously, with Teddy being out the 1 week, it is only 1 week left of the year that he should miss, and I think that extra week of rest is going to be really good for him to come out and play really well for the back end here for the Roosters. Other news that came out was obviously Sam Walker. Sounds like that knee isn't getting any better at the moment. It's very day to day. Some days are good, some days are bad, and I very much doubt he's going to be playing anytime soon in an NRL jersey anyway. For the Roosters, potentially for New South Wales Cup, he might get a game or two, but it sounds like it's not really healing and not getting better, and just stops him of having that explosiveness and some of that power and stepping ability that he is very much used to having in his game. So Sandon Smith becomes a little bit more of an option as a bit of a cash down, obviously in the 330s. It's a awkward price, but he's definitely someone that could score fairly well. They don't have the easiest of matchup this week, and you're looking at his scores in previous ones. He was goal kicking, whereas you think Suoli'i will come in and goal kick as well. So for people that are looking at Sandon, it's probably a few points to take it off just for the goal kicks, and then does he continue to play pretty well fantasy wise anyway, and on the field as an NRL standpoint for the next few weeks against these tougher opponents. So that's some of the question marks there. But let's go through a few of the questions here, and then go through some teams as well. Any thoughts on going Preston, VT Dub, Buller, and Cook, so the 4 trader, to Grant, Fafita, DC, and Harrison Graham? It sounds pretty hectic if you can do that. They're all obviously Cook on a buy as a keeper, but the other guys are sort of mid-range players, which is cool. AJ also said even if Grant scores a 40-50 this week, he probably scored just as much as Robson, Cook, and Boyd. For sure. In this week, that's for sure. Horse, Cook, Edwards, do not trade out Horse. Papali'i, Cook, Bullard to Teddy. Teddy's out, so leave that one out, unfortunately. Change those trades. Bull and Robson for Fafita and Graham. Yep, that works. If you're done with Robson, you already have Grant. Thoughts on Fitzgibbon? It's another one we could have spoken about. Scoop actually messaged afterwards and was like, we didn't mention Fitzgibbon just because he's had 3 injury-related games, head knock-related games there, to drop down his price, and he's very, very cheap at $5.40 there. He was averaging really, really well, and his one I was mentioning was very consistent along that whole period. And if you are short on cash, then sure, you could definitely go for someone like him. Someone like Liam Martin is the other guy that's a little bit cheaper than that. That could be an option as well. But good thinking, Pete, on that one. Yo now or Haas next week? Haas misses an extra game in 5 weeks now. So that's something to think about. So if you will need the scoring this week with Yo, then do that. If not, then you can wait for sure. Simpkins very cheap. So what's to do with him? He still has a fairly low break even. So trading him, it's like, well, who are you trading to? You have to upgrade him, in my opinion, I believe. Thoughts on C&K to Scott Drinkwater this week? Thank guys, love the work. Well, thank you for watching. If you missed out on Drinkwater, I think that's the play. They both have 1 bye remaining, but Scotty's going to score much better than Chansey. Who you trading in this week, J-Dog? I am now still working out with Teddy being out. That's very, very annoying for my squad. It probably just means I can't loop, to be honest with you. I was looking to trade one of Taff or Valence out, considering I have Horse and also JDB. So that just means that, with 4 of those out, if I trade one of them, it would have meant I got to loop. But now Teddy's out. It goes back to that 4 being out. So it's more just for me just trying to work out if I'm getting Grant this week, if I'm trading Robson to Grant, if I'm getting Fafita, which is likely. It sounds like he'll be playing. We're going to want him for the rest of the year. And then what I do with the mid section, I need a mid this week. So if I'm trying to get Grant and Fafita, I probably have to go for Max King. So that's where I'm looking at there. Obviously, Sandon Smith, if I wanted to go a 4th trade, I was just having a bit of a look. I could go, because I'm a tiny bit short on getting the 3 trades that I want, which would be, instead of trading Robson, it would be trading Chance. So that would give me that extra gun in keeping Robson. So it'd be Chance, it would be Valence, it would be Taff. Taff would go down to Sandon, Valence would go to Max King, and then it would be Who else have I got there? Jake Turpin is going to go to Fafita. And then whoever the other fella is. Chance. Did I say Chance? Yeah. Chance, Turpin. Yeah, that's the ones there. So that would be where I'm thinking. But, yeah, unsure now that I just got the news on Teddy this morning. And we'll work it out from there. Ponga or Edwards. I think Ponga is going to score better, but Edwards with Cleary back is pretty good. So flip the coin on that one. Obviously, Ponga can cover half as well. Do I go for Fodawaker or Yo? Some very hard decisions this week. I think Yo is going to be obviously your best scorer, so look to get him first. Sup, lads? Do I go Cook to Grant or Nikora to Fafita this week? Don't trade Nikora. I'd trade Cook. Is fine. So just do the one. That works well. I know I'm not Jamie, but don't trade for Fafita yet because of the... Yeah, so the hip thing is fake news, by the way. They misreported it was meant to be Nanae with the hip pointer injury, which he did, and Fafita has back tightness, but it's been confirmed that he will back up and he will be fine. They need to win games, so that's the importance there. But there you go. Ponga or Garrick. Ponga just. I think Garrick's going to be important as well. Moses is not a sell. Yeah, no why. Thank you, Brett. I'm hoping for a big score out of him. What's your thoughts on Butcher, keeper for the year? If you've got him, hold for sure. Yep. Will Fafita play? Yes, sounds like it. What about Jackson Ford for this week? Low BE and average 60 in the last 3 games. Yeah, well, you just got to look to the bunch before where he's in the 30s pretty regularly. So I do think that Metcalf has opened him up a little bit. He's getting a lot more ball. They're going to Metcalf a lot more than they did when like Tamati Martin was there, I believe anyway. Ford was used as a few like tough carries out of his end rather than in really good ball. Sometimes he'd get in try scoring situation, but they seem to be getting him some early ball 30, 40 meters out with some gaps, getting one-on-one, getting into gaps and stuff like that. So it's definitely someone that could work dual position. A little bit more expensive, that's for sure, over the last 3 weeks, but yeah, isn't going to look out of place, but does have a buy in a few weeks. And do you have CNK? Do you have Torhul? Do you have SJ? Something to think about there. When Turpin and Matto, Cup Rice keeper, 9 trades left. Would you go Cleary and mid and say Munster and another gun? Cleary and mid. That could work. Yeah, where you going? So what, Matto? 9 trades left. You can make the 2 or 3 easily, I think. Munster, another gun, works out too. But like, if you're in a mid, so mid would be like Max King, I'd say. If you can go Cleary and Max King, that would be fine. But yeah, Matto and Munster works. That kind of thing there. Tanner Boyd to Grant. You can. I don't know, is there another way to get to Grant? If there is, then sweet. If not, then look, it's an upgrade. But Tanner's going to cover a few positions. He doesn't have any more buys left, so it's a few things to think about. Trading Tunga or Gagai. Gagai's out, unfortunately, as well. It's the only one I didn't mention that Gags is out with his injury. So maybe we avoid him from now, given that that's actually hampering him a fair bit. So yeah, Tunga is going to work well. Trade Johnson, help afford for Fafita and Grant, or not worth it? I think, not worth it. I agree with what said there. Last couple here. Last one will do, actually. Thoughts on Blore and Cook to Yo and Tunga. Yeah, that'll work there. Easy. No problem on that front. Let's get out of that one, which will be cool. And let's go into a few of these squadrons. So this here, Team 5, the T-Banger Steakhouse. Thank you for commenting, always. You're a legend. Good luck this week, legend. May the fantasy gods be kind to you. Well, it hasn't started well with Tedesco, but we'll see what happens with our trades. It might have to go all in, hey. All right, congrats on an awesome year, follow video. Thank you very much. Mate, I've been stumped this week and would really like your input on what direction to take from here. Done 1 trade for this round so far, Buller to Grant. Pretty cool, pretty easy. Need someone to cover Haas in the mid. Already got probably too many cash downs. Cash that didn't work out in Fainu and Burbo. Yeah, that's frustrating. You might have to get rid of one of them, to be honest with you. There. Looks to try and get Fafita in maybe via Boyd, but more I think about it is good cover and a bench player. All right, mate. So you got Nelson in there. Center, you got Lemuelu. That we find for now. Edwards, Johnson, Payne Haas is out. Yeah, it's frustrating. So that's a good question. So Buller up to Grant. I feel like you have to try and get rid of Fainu. Not sure how you do it. Maybe you do a secondary trade and you go, because you got Munro as well as a cheapie. So maybe you do Fainu to Sandon Smith. That could work okay. Just to give you an extra player. Because you're going to be sitting there, with... Are you short this week? 16? Yeah. Oh, Ben Chawovic is playing it. Oh, no, he's injured again, isn't he? So, yeah. I think one of those guys needs to go to get you a 17th player, would be my opinion. You can go Haas out if you want. this week, but I really think he's going to be important to keep in your side. So maybe it's fine to Sandon Smith now that we've got more information, so you can leave yourself with 6 trades and a good 17 this week, and then Payne Haas comes back, DeBellin comes back next week, and really improves your squad going forward. So thanks T-Banger for sending that one in. Let's go to our 4th team there, Dream's Dream. How's it going, Jamie? We're doing all right, mate. How's the squad looking at 116th overall? Good stuff. Very close to myself. 8 trades in remaining there, 33 in the bank. So it hasn't got that bank there left over, which is a little frustrating. We've got Simpkin, we've got Sandon Smith, we've got Lemuelu with Penasini Manu. Nice back 3. Obviously, Teddy's out now, so Buller might have to be... No, you got Drinkwater can come in. Sweet. You can make that decision. Squad's looking solid, mate. Definitely nothing to sneeze at, that's for sure. Pretty similar to a lot of our squads. Pretty similar to mine. I don't have Grant. I have Robson. Yeah. Got Moses. What's the best way for me to get a mid for this round? So you do need the 1. Right. Not much cash in the bank is the annoying one. So you may have to trade out Buller. So maybe you have to go Buller straight to Max King. Could just be the play this week just to settle that down. Otherwise, there's not really anyone in this starting side I would trade out. Teddy's obviously a hold. It's probably just a 1 trade week for you. You have enough players. Sandon Smith can be 1 in your 17, so that could be cool. Lemon, Haas to Fafita and King. That would be fine as well if you want to do that. Lem obviously is out next week and you don't need him going forward, but no longer have any center cover as well. So the one I first said before I looked at that is cool. That's the 1 trade option, and that's the 2 trade option, I think, as well. If you want Haas from next week, then great, but I doubt things change for him. He's just going to get that rest, and then he'll be... there's no point rushing him kind of thing. I think for them, it was like, all right, let's just give him the extra week and make sure he's fit and firing, ready to go. And thank you for sending that in. Either option is going to be good. Unipub. All right, what do we got here? Hey, mate, a bit stuck on what to do this week. What? Would like to hear what your thoughts would be. Love the content. Keep it up. Thank you very much. 2,600 overall. 11 trades, 178 in the bank. Beautiful. We've got some wiggle room. So, starting side looks pretty solid. Let's have a look at the bench there. Carrigan out. That's frustrating. Might just have to hold. Thankfully, you don't have Teddy, so you don't have the double. I'm sure there's a few out there with the double. So Chance could be one you look to move on. Buller, if you like, as well. Both are fine. The only reason, guys, that I'm suggesting Chance is he's that little bit extra money. 21k, not much, but he has a buy left and Buller doesn't. And Buller has a couple of easier matchups coming up where we know he's dominated before, whereas Chance, it doesn't really matter the matchup because they dominated last week. He didn't score well, so he can score okay at any time. I think he just did have a little purple patch, and he's going to be a max of 40 kind of scorer for us. So that's why I'm mentioning him. But Turpin could be a guy that you just straight swap. You obviously need a mid this week, so maybe Turpin goes to Max King, Turpin goes to Mo Waker. That's something you can do there. You could do a downgrade option, but you do obviously have Sandon Smith and Simpkin as well. So maybe it's a 1 trade thing for you this week, just so you can set yourself up and have a strong 17 this week. You're not really having any issues in any other spots, so that's where I'd lock it in this week. Well done to you. All right, we've got a couple left. All right, this felt like coming 20th last week and has already used the 4 trades. So, Totola to Yo. We have Buller to Fafita, Simpkin to Garrick, and Valance to Graham. Hopefully these trades will look to get into top 1k by the end of the season. For sure, man. All right, so what does that leave you with player-wise? You got Tohu and Hopgood on... Okay. Preston still sitting in there. Graham, Munro. Timoko is out. So do you have a centre? You have Talau. Okay, playing Talau. Hopefully that goes okay. I'm worried that he's going to get back to a pretty low score, but they do play a lesser team this week than they played last week in terms of where they are on the ladder. Team's pretty solid, man. Top Guns in each position. Yeah, Talau in the centres. That's the only thing that's a bit crappy, obviously. With Timoko back next week, that's fine, and then Talau can be your cover. Yeah, I think we'd leave it at that, mate. You're in a good spot. And then the last one, guys, we'll go through TT1. All right, FC Supremas. Hey, Jamie, think of going heavy with the trades this week since I have so many. Awesome, 15 left. That's hectic. Just trying to decide between a few options. Option 1, Haas Buller plus Simpkin to Fafita Garrick Graham. Lovely. Buller Simpkin Turpin to Fafita Sandon Smith Graham. Yeah, and that keeps Haas. So Garrick over Sandon Smith, and that means you hold. Okay, that could work. That can work, I think. Either one's going to be fine, I think. Flip a coin on that one. Yeah. Or maybe go Haas as cash next week, go to Cleary. Okay, well, if you're thinking about trading Haas anyway, which I think if you don't trade him this week, you just hold for next week. But yeah, up to you on that one there. I think you can make that decision. I think flip the coin on that one. But yeah, thought process is based on how much of a sell Haas is this week. I can cover mid with either option, move Hopgood up, and play for feeder at edge. Yeah, you could definitely cover him, that's for sure, but do you want his scoring going forward? That's the decision you need to make, and either one of those options I think is going to work. So good decisions, mate, and thank you everyone for watching this video. We got the questions, we got the teams, and I hope you enjoyed it. See you later.